Hello! Today I'd like to show you a short sequence that you can do when you suffer from tension headaches. And these kind of headaches are often related to stress, but also to poor posture of the neck. So when we're sitting all day long like this in front of our computers and gazing down at our mobile phones, the muscles here at the back and at the side, as a reaction, can get quite tense. And we will need a few props for this. Actually, you just need one of them. So, for example, if you have a foam roller at home, you could use that, or a yoga block. Or if you don't have any of these, a water bottle also works fine. Actually, I will use the water bottle today because it's not as high as the foam roller. And also as an option, two tennis balls and a sock, fresh washed sock preferably. And that's also optional. You can just use a water bottle. So get any of these props ready, and then if you have tennis balls, you put them into the sock and make it quite tight so that it has this peanut shape, and you really want to squeeze them together so when you put some pressure on it they don't go apart, and then tighten them up, making a knot. And another thing I would like to mention before we start is we're also going to use our hands. So you're going to touch your face. Needless to say, wash your hands before we start. So you can put me on pause, and then when you come back, we'll start. Okay, so first of all, find a comfortable seat. You can do this again sitting on a chair. We will lie down later on the ground, so have a mat or carpet or whatever prepared for that. And then we're going to start with our jaws, because also headaches are often related to tension that we hold in the jaw. So bring your hands in front of your ear and just start by exploring a bit the edges of your skull, of the jaw, the upper jaw. And then I can do this while talking, but relax your jaw and open it a bit, open and close it, and with your thumbs gently tap there to get a sense for the muscles that actually do this action of holding the jaw together, pressing it together and opening it up. And then with tiny circles, start massaging the space between the upper and the lower jaw. You could also brush even with all your fingers from the ears down, as if you would like to draw the lower jaw away from your skull. It actually hangs in there, drawing down. I also like to use the lower outer corner of my hand. There's this tiny bone there, and that also works pretty well to get into the space between the jaws and to gently rub the tissues and the muscles there. You don't have to use a lot of pressure. It's more to send a signal actually to relax. So you won't achieve that if you push too deeply into it, then the muscles rather will tense up to protect the body. Brushing down a few times, and of course these are just suggestions. You can, if you like it, you can again put me on pause or do it during the day for a longer bit of time if you feel that it helps you. And then after that, with our fingers, we will get at the back of the jaw. Again, find the bone there. It's really quite prominent actually in most of people. I could open and close the mouth a few times to feel how it moves. And then also gently massage the tissue around there. Sorry, at the back of the neck, below the ear, behind the jaw. There are also a lot of trigger points. And then we get closer to the back of the head, to the skull. So in tiny circles with your fingers, gently rubbing the tissues, and then find the edge of your skull. And with your hands, walk along to explore how your skull is shaped there. And then the edge there is called the occiput. And there are muscles below which are called suboccipital muscles, so the muscles below the occiput. That, those are tiny muscles that can get really, really tense if we feel stressed, if we have a not so optimal posture of the head, then they start to cramp up. And also a lot of nerves are going down there from our brain, amongst them the vagus nerve that's connected or responsible for our central nervous system, so the different states that we can be in, flight, fight, freeze, and so forth. I'll probably make a video about it separately. Long story short, if those muscles get very tight, it puts us into even more stress, because then our body also starts to shut down or to get into this aggressive fight mode. So it's really, really good to know that we can release a lot of stress if we release tension from those muscles. We will get down now on the floor, so hopefully you found now those occipital muscles there. We're going to use now our prop on the floor, so I'm going to use the water bottle, but as I said, you can also have a block or a foam roller, but I think a water bottle is a tool or a prop that most of you will have at home. So we're going to lie down and put the prop, the water bottle, now just below the edge of the skull, where those suboccipital muscles are. And you should feel almost immediately a sensation of relief. It should feel quite good. If instead there is pain, sharp pain or something like that, then maybe don't use your prop. Use your hands instead and continue with a softer massage, so for that you can interlace your fingers and cup your head just above the occiput, and then with your thumbs you can get into the muscles there and in the tissues, and then massage all the way down to your neck, brushing in both directions. I'm quite confident that you will find out for yourself what feels good. I'll continue with the bottle. So first of all, I just allow myself to sink into it. And then I'll start rolling my head slightly from side to side to also get a bit more into the sides, to explore whether there is more tension in one side than the other. And there might be some intense sensation, not only in your neck, but also along the skin of your head, because there are a lot of trigger points and nerve connections. But as long as it is this, let's say, interesting, slightly painful sensation, that's totally fine. What you not should feel is any sharp pain or any headache arising from that. That we don't want to do. We don't want to avoid that. And if you haven't closed your eyes yet, then close your eyes to connect even more with the back side of your head, the back side of your neck. You can apply the Ujjayi breath that we learned in the video earlier. Not just normal deep inhalations and exhalations. And if you find a trigger point or something where you feel, oh yeah, that's a sweet spot, then of course linger there for a bit. Send your breath there. You can always use your exhalation throughout the mouth to then really let go of the tension. exhaling out through the mouth also sends a quite clear message to our central nervous system to calm down. To get out of that stress mode. And you certainly can do this for much longer. I will leave it like this for now, so very carefully with one hand cup your head to hold it up and then get the prop out of the way. And then as carefully as you would do with a newborn child, place your head back down on the ground and then let that settle for a moment. Let your whole head roll to the left shoulder and then over to the right shoulder. Make sure that your jaw is still relaxed, that you don't start building up tension there again, especially if you're a jaw clencher. Be aware of that. And then bring your head back into a neutral position so that your gaze, even though your eyes may be closed, is straight up to the ceiling. And then with your thumbs, place them at the top of your nose, so on the inside of your eye cavities, where the eyebrows start actually. Place them there and then start there with very mild pressure, tiny circles, just where the nose and the eye cavities meet, there in the corner. There's also an acupressure point. You don't want to squish your eyes, of course. Keep the eyes relaxed. Let them sink down back into the eye cavities. And then very, very slowly we'll work our way out along just below the eyebrows, along the bony edge that you feel there. Very mild pressure. Should feel very nice, releasing. And then we wipe all the way from the outer edges of the eyebrows down towards the floor, as if you would brush out whatever you found there, out from the body. And then once again, place your thumbs on the inside of the eyebrows and then one long movement out. We'll repeat this twice. So brushing from the inside of the eyebrow to the outside of the eyebrow and then all the way down. Okay. And now take one hand and place the mount of your palm at your chin and then see where your middle finger ends. And this is one point that you want to remember. Now place at that point again the base of your palm and then let fingers extend over your head and then find the top of your head. And this is another point that you want to remember. So at the top of your head, wherever your middle finger ends up, place, you can use 3 fingers together or just your pointer finger or your thumb. Place one finger there and then another finger, I will use my thumb at your forehead where we had our first point. So we have one finger on the crown of the head, another finger at your forehead, and then also there, very gentle circles. Close your eyes if you open them in between. Make sure that your jaw is still relaxed. Make sure that you don't hold your breath. Steady deep inhales and exhales. And I really invite you to exhale out through the mouth whenever you have the feeling that you need a bit of relief. And let go of anything that has been on your mind today. Give it a pause now. And be very mindful with the amount of pressure that you use for this. So it can be very, very gentle. You don't have to squish your scalp. You can continue with this or release your hands. And place again either fingers or the base of your palm to your temples. And then very gentle circles there, just a few. And then to finish, place one hand on your chest, in the center of your chest, where your breastbone is, your sternum, and the other hand below your navel on your lower abdomen. And then take a deep inhalation into the hand that you have resting on your chest. And then with your exhalation, send the breath down towards your belly, where the other hand is. And if you don't know how to do that, just imagine the breath traveling down. And then we inhale into the lower belly. That hand might rise, or it may not yet. Be patient. And then on the exhalation, you send the breath up to the chest. And then you inhale there, and the hand rises. And then exhale, send it down to the lower belly. And inhale there, hand rises. And send the breath up to the chest, to your heart. And continue like this. So always breathing in into one hand, sending it to the other hand. Breathing in there and then sending it up. So it becomes a continuous way of breathing. Connecting the lower abdomen with the chest, with the heart center. And you can go on with this for as long as you wish. Whenever you're ready, take your hands away. Connect once again with the floor. And then roll either to the left side or to the right side. Come into this rescue position. Stay there for a few moments. You can already open your eyes there or just keep them closed. And then press yourself back up into a seated position. I hope you enjoyed the sequence. Also, don't forget to drink a lot of water if you suffer from headaches and to take in some oxygen. Have a good day.